Alright, hello team, we're here. We just dealt with the kobolds. In two separate worlds, the seeds were sown, and through the determination of two indomitable women, they have quickened into this historic moment. I feel honored to have been present to see it. It has taken some time, but the dream of lasting peace with the kobolds may become a reality. And it's all thanks to Alisa. The treatment may have restored the patriarch to his senses, but it was the Admiral and Gabu's words that touched his heart. This moment belongs to all of us, Miro. We couldn't have done it without each other. But seem we have found a way forward with the kobolds. Next, we will help the Second Order free their tempered brethren from thraldom. Theirs is far from the only order, of course, and it will be no small amount of time and effort to reach the rest. But reach them we will, however long it takes. I would say that I was in your debt, but that has long been true. So instead, I will say thank you for helping us plot a new course, not only for Limsa Laminsa, but all Eorzea. Futures Rewritten. This is the final quest of patch 5.4.
Right. Let's return to the Rising Stones.
Admiral, something strange is afoot at the floating city.
Breathe, man. What is it?
I think it's best you see for yourself. Please, come with me.
What in the world is that? A tower?
You can see it too, then? I feared I was losing my wits. One moment I was patrolling as usual, and the next it was just there.
Yes? This is she. I am. I'm looking at it. What? Understood. Send the Elder Seedseer my regards. The communications officer. It seems this isn't the only tower. They've sprung up all across Eorzea. Nothing more is known, only that they appear to be of Garlean construction. Our allies on the Alamegan front are on highest alert. Forgive my directness, but would you join them? They may well need the help.
Of course, Admiral. We shall make all haste.
My thanks. I will return to Limsa to weigh our response. Look for Commander Hext when you arrive in Alamigo, and may the Navigator speed you on your way.
No sooner do we find peace, we now have these very strange towers popping up out of nowhere. Alright, let's teleport, let's look at that for a moment. Very odd. Let's teleport to Let me. Hello, Cheshire. We have mysteries abound, and now we gotta go find out what these mysteries entail. Oh. Gabu, don't worry, he's with our Maelstrom friends, meaning we're free to deal with the latest problem to fall uninvited into our labs. Though it is invisible from here, the locals reported that a tower-like structure has appeared to the south. It appears that business is as usual inside the city, but Lise will be able to tell us if there's any developments without.
Thank you for coming so soon. I'll send for Commander Aldin at once, and we can decide what to do about these infernal towers.
Roca Preserve!
It can't be.
The palace! After them!
You're here, good.
Well, well, well! To be received by such an illustrious cast! Why, even the hero of the piece is here! I feel quite starstruck.
Is that a sigh?
His body, more like. You don't fool us.
Oh! You saw straight through it! Anyone would think you dealt with Ascians before. Permit me to introduce myself. I am Fandaniel, and may I say what a pleasure it is to finally make your acquaintance.
Powers, what are they for?
My, straight to business is it? Suit yourself. It is my intention to recreate the final days, to which end I have distributed a collection of rather ingenious devices, or towers, which will, in time, give rise to the grandest of spectacles.
The final days? But it was the Ascians who labored to prevent them.
You're quite right, though I would expect no less from one responsible for eliminating my unsundered colleagues. Honestly, the three of them were obsessed with restoring the one true world. As a sovereign individual, however, I never had much interest in such things. I mean, why bother when you're just another sundered minion? Admittedly, Elidibus was not convinced by that argument, but thanks to you, I'm finally free of his incessant nagging. Free to use my powers as I see fit, to fulfill my heart's desire. And my heart's desire is to lay this half-broken world to waste, leaving nary a fleck of dust behind!
What? Why would you want such a thing?
Because I want wretched creatures who ask such meaningless questions to die! You! And you! And you! I want you all to die! And I want to die too! Oh, yes! I want to die and take everyone with me in a paroxysm of pain and suffering. I'm different, you see, from the ancients who clung to dear life, and from you. So don't bother trying to reason with me. You will find I have no reason, or creed, or any such tripe. I just want to destroy the world. But please do resist with all your might. It will add to my enjoyment. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes peeled, for the curtains have risen on the spectacle to end all spectacles. We, the Telophoroi, shall be your performers, and this very star our stage. Ah, but I nearly forgot. I have a message for you. My esteemed patron, Lord Xenos, eagerly awaits you at the heart of the chaos. While I wish only to destroy the world, he exists solely to relive a certain, transcendent moment with you. And it is for that reason he would reduce all to ash. Pray see to it his dreams do not go unfulfilled. For if you should disappoint him, my trusty companion here, whom I've dubbed Lunar Bahamut, will burn your cities and everyone in them.
Everyone out! My men will tend to the blaze.
Well, that's lovely. What could these towers possibly feasibly play in the Telophoroi's plan, do you think? I for one am at a loss. For now, we should bear word of these developments to the others. I only hope that Thancred and Urianger are safe. Though our objectives were different, I could understand why Elidibus and his fellows acted as they did. But Fandaniel, it'll take me some time to make sense of it all, if there indeed is any sense to be found. Are you alright, Miro? The rest of us are fine, if a little singed. That dragon let us off lightly. Honestly, though, only a madman would choose the name Lunar Bahamut. Which just about sums up Fandaniel, I suppose. Thank goodness everyone's safe. We managed to put out the fire, though not quickly enough to save the garden. Robin, can I leave it to you to send word to the Alliance? I'm going to take a unit to investigate the tower. We need to find out what it's for. I'll go with you. No, you won't. You'll rest. From what Melvib tells me, you're due some time off duty. Should we learn anything about the tower, you will be sure to share it with you. Until then, I want you to rest. Very well, but if you need our help, don't hesitate. And take care, both of you. Speak with Kryl at the Rising Stones. Alright, off we go to the Rising Stones. Would I date Fandaniel? I don't think he'd be a good date, to be honest. I feel like Fandaniel's just an enormous sack of shit. He would definitely be a selfish lover. Hug Hubert there would be better. Imagine having dinner and the guy just randomly starts yelling about destroying the world. What's your favorite movie? Armageddon. No, he wouldn't like Armageddon because the meteor failed. Though my new, or rather old, by which I mean young, though this body has a good deal more stamina than the one I wore out in the first, I confess I've been looking forward to a moment of respite. We've had a busy few days, have we not? Ishtola returned before us. It seems she knows about the towers too. Ah, good. It feels good to be home. Come home to the Rising Stones. It's here my heart feels most at peace and my mind the clearest. It would seem you have had quite an eventful time in my absence, but I'm fully rested now and ready for more. Welcome back, Miro. Make yourself comfortable and let me know if I can get you anything. Ah, you're back too. Good. We received reports from the Alliance. Since we were all here, perhaps those who bore witness to the events in Alamigo could treat the rest of us to a first-hand account? I liked when the meteor extincted the dinosaurs. Mini cat. No sooner do we overcome one problem than another appears. It would seem tediously predictable, but for the endless variety of our foes, this Fandaniel sounds even more unhinged than his patrons. Unhinged, perhaps, but no fool. For all his pantomime theatrics, he gave way little about his plot. We know only that he intends to recreate the final days, and that the towers will somehow facilitate this. He also called his dragon Lunar Bahamut. Let's not forget that little detail. And the creature did resemble the descriptions I've heard of the Elder Primal. That may be true, but the fact that it is answered to Fandaniel would suggest they are not one and the same entity. I think it's probable that it is some manner of simulacrum born of Asian magics. Whatever it is, for now we can work closely with the Alliance and remain vigilant. I believe that concludes our news. What of yours, Ishtola? I have been to see the Sultana. Knowing how quick the immortal flames are to dispose of the tempered, I judged it best to provide them with the cure first. As soon as I had sufficiently recovered, I traveled to Uldad to deliver the porksy to her grace, along with the detailed instructions on their use. Yet my visit chanced to coincide with the arrival of some troubling tidings. The immortal flames had been on the cusp of agreeing to a truce with the Amalja when negotiations abruptly collapsed. The Amalja claimed that a number of their kind had been abducted and that men are responsible. Not as known of the perpetrators as yet, but as the mortal flames went about investigating abductions, they came upon one of Fandaniel's towers. On the subject of the towers, you may be interested to learn that they are not an exclusively Eorzean phenomenon. According to the Alliance, they have been sighted as far afield as Yangsha. Then it would seem reasonable to assume that they are everywhere. We simply have not found them. Well, as you said yourself, we can do little now save remain vigilant, and since we are dealing with a dragon, ostensibly at least, I believe it would behoove us to enlist the aid of an authority on such foes. Estinian! Estinian? Now just a moment. If he could be persuaded to lend us his lance, I would be the first to welcome it, but the truth is, we will struggle even to find him. You let me and Kryl worry about that. We'll sniff him out, no matter where he's hiding. If indeed he is hiding, we have ways of locating him regardless, so if there are no objections, we shall depart at once. I say, would you date Estinian? Well, rather than sitting around, I think I might go to each of the city-states and educate them in the use of porksies. They would doubtless appreciate it, but might you consider taking a moment to rest before leaving? You'd be fresher for the tasks ahead. Well, my friend, our moment of triumph did not last long. Was ever the way, the world often needs saving. Oh dear, you're not enjoying our adventure? I really could have done with a rest. And save it we shall. I for one do not intend to allow a nihilistic madman to take us all to the grave with him. Not when the future holds such promise. Nay, I will do all my power to protect those whom I hold dear, just as you have always done. Futures rewritten. Meanwhile, somewhere in the locks.
The scouts should have been back by now. I'm gonna go and find them. Oh, thank goodness for that.
Glory be. Glory be. Glory be. Glory be to Kobolds!
Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace.
The piles have been driven as planned, and the first of the beasts has roared to life. Moreover, I am pleased to report that preparations are well underway for the rest. Ere long, chaos shall reign over all the land, as befits the final days.
Call it what you will, so long as my friend returns to me, fangs bared and claws sharpened. I care not.
Of course, my lord. By strange coincidence, your dear friend chanced to be present when I made my declaration. I took the liberty of informing her that you await her coming, though I confess, I may have singed her a little in the process.
And why do you tell me this? Are you in such a hurry to die?
Ah, my apologies. I must guard my tongue lest it be the end of me. Though, there is something to be said for such a glorious death. Better to fall to one who has it all than falter before an inferior. Huh. I shall keep it in mind as a contingency. For now, however, I shall proceed with the plan. My lord.
I must find myself a new weapon. One worthy of our long-awaited reunion.
Pen and sword. Okay. Got a title from this? We did. Writer of histories. Huh. Alright guys, we're gonna take a break. We will come back and start with patch 5.5, the final patch leading into Endwalker. It is, however, split into two parts. The first part is shorter than the second. No, the second part is shorter than the first part. But yeah, we will start it here in just a moment.